profit.
Okay. So now all of you kindly mute your mic for 15 minutes. Okay. Let's say there are two variables x comma y. If there is some increase in one variable x, let's say there is some increase in one variable x. Due to this increase in variable x, if there is some influence in the sense if there is some increase or decrease in y. I repeat, let's say there are two variables called x comma y. If there is some increase or decrease in one variable, influences for some increase or decrease in another variable, then both are said to be correlated. Let's say for example, supply and demand. Supply and demand. See, surely if there is some change in the supply, 100% there will be some change in demand. Let's say sometimes supply is increased, then there is a possibility for decrease in the demand. And this means if there is some influence in this one variable, automatically we can see some change in another variable, what we call demand. So in this case, supply and demand are said to be correlated. Because obviously one variable is depending on another variable. So correlation analysis is a statistical tool. Listen carefully. Correlation analysis is a statistical tool which is used to know the relationship between two or more variables. We can say another example called heights and weights. See, surely if there is some increase in height, obviously there will be some increase in weight. That means height and weight are said to be in relation. So finally, what I mean to say is, correlation is a statistical tool. Just note down, I will give you small notes.
Wire coil 52 inches తీసుకోరు 90 mm wire coil అది ఓకేనా
అరే బాబు విఘ్నేష్ మైక్ ఆఫ్ చేసి మాట్లాడుకోమ్మా సాగొడుతుంది
సారీ సార్
So you just note down, correlation is a statistical tool. Which is used to know the relationship between two or more variables. Okay.
So can you please repeat it once again? It is used to know.
It's used to know the relationship between two or more variables. Okay. Continuation. If there is some change in one variable, influences for some change in another variable, if there is some change in one variable influences for some change in another variable, then both are said to be correlated. So if there is some increase or decrease in one variable, influences for some change in another variable, then both are said to be correlated. Okay. Now let's move for the types of correlations. Let's move for types of correlation. So basically, there are three types of correlation. One is positive correlation. One is positive correlation. Positive correlation. And second is negative correlation. Second is negative correlation. And third is absence of correlation. Absence of correlation. So basically, there are three types of correlations existed between the variables. One is positive correlation, another is negative correlation, and third is absence of correlation. Now I will explain what is meant by positive correlation. Remember, positive correlation. Okay. Now, if let's say there are two variables called x comma y, if there is some increase in first variable, influences for some increase in the second variable. This means, let's say for example, supply demand. If there is some increase in first variable called supply, if you can see the increase in the second variable called demand, then both are said to be positively correlated. For example, if we take height and weight, generally if height increases, weight will be increased. This means height and weight are two variables which are said to be positively correlated. Not only this,
directly proportional.
Correct. Let's say రెండు increase అవ్వాలని రూల్ ఏం లేదు. Let's say for example, if there is some increase in the first variable, influences for some, if there is some decrease in the first variable, influences for some decrease in the second variable, then also both are said to be positively correlated. Either this one or this one. I repeat, positive correlation is, we can say two variables are said to be positively correlated if there is some increase in one variable, influences for some increase in another variable, or vice versa. Similarly, we can discuss negative correlation in a similar way, that is negative correlation. This is opposite to negative correlation is just opposite to the previous examples. Let's say there are two inversely proportional. Let's say there are two variables called x comma y. If there is some increase in first variable, influences for some decrease in the second variable. Opposite like that, then both are said to be negatively correlated. Similarly, if there is some decrease in the first variable, influences for some increase in the second variable, then both are said to be negatively correlated. Got it? For example, let's take an example of income and expenditure. There are two variables called income and expenditure. Just imagine if your income is increases. I'm sorry.
Income and savings.
Wait. This is income and expenditure are coming under positive correlation. See, generally, when income increases, income expenditure ikkada vachestundi. When income is increases, then expenditure also will be increased. If income is increased, expenditure also increased. Then both are said to be positively correlated. Okay. Now, here in the negative correlation, we can say that supply and demand. Sometimes when there is some increase in supply, obviously there will be some decrease in the demand. Demand decrease avalani rule em ledhu, but sometimes we may see decrease in the demand. So the increase in the supply influences for decrease in the demand. So supply and demand are said to be negatively correlated. And coming to third one, the third type is absence of correlation. absence of correlation. Absence of correlation is nothing but, see, whatever variables we have, if there is no influence between the two variables called, if there is no influence between the two variables, then we call it as absence of correlation or zero correlation. We call it as zero correlation. Got it? See, there are no particular examples for absence of correlation. See, whatever it is, if there is no, whatever variables you take, if there is no influence between the two variables, we call it as absence of correlation. See, sometimes even positive correlation, negative correlation examples in the. Let's say, for example, you can take same example, supply and demand. See, always when supply increases, demand may not be decreased, or demand may not be increased. And sometimes, even though there is some influence in supply, demand cannot be influenced. That is a case where what we call it as absence of correlation. Got it? In the previous student, positive correlation law, we have discussed about income and expenditure. We said that income and expenditure are positively correlated. But if you see few examples, some of the people, even though their income is increases, their expenditure may not be influenced. Either increase can decrease can avadu. So that is a special case, what we call it as absence of correlation or zero correlation. So these are the three types of correlations we have in the concept of correlation analysis. I think to check whether positive correlation is existed or negative correlation is existed or absence of correlation is existed between two or more variables, we have to use a statistical tool called correlation coefficient, a coefficient called correlation coefficient. So correlation coefficient is used to know what type of relationship is existed between those two variables, two or more variables. Got it? See, generally, always correlation coefficient is expressed on a scale which is ranged from -1 to +1. -1 to +1. Which includes 0 na, -1 to +1 ante majhilo 0 kuda untundi. So my point is, so generally to know what kind of relationship is existed between two or more variables, we use a coefficient called correlation coefficient, which is always expressed on a number line -1 to +1. Let's say you have data for two variables called x comma y, and you have calculated correlation coefficient, and your correlation coefficient is a negative value. To be correlation coefficient negative value, that concludes that there existed negative correlation between those two variables. And if you got a correlation coefficient as a positive value in the sense 0 to +1 majhilo edena, if you get any positive value, that means that concludes there existed a positive correlation between two variables. Got it? And one more important thing is, let's say you have a correlation coefficient called 0.99. So first of all, 0.99 is a positive value, so that we say that there existed positive correlation. But if you see, 0.99 is almost nearby 1. And it is equivalent to upper limit. That means we can say that there existed strongly positive correlation between the two variables called x comma y. So we call it as strong positive, and we call it as strong positive. Similarly, if we get -0.99, we call it as strong negative. Anyway, that conclusions we are going to learn in the examples. Now, not only positive, negative, absence of correlation, there are two other types of correlations. Those two are simple correlation. We call it as simple correlation. Another is multiple correlation. We call it as multiple correlation. I will tell you when we call the correlation is said to be simple. Remember, if your study confined to, you are doing some research work, like you are doing some research to know the relationship between only two variables. If your study or if your research is confined to only two variables, then your study is said to be simple correlation. For example, If you wanted to know whether demand is influenced by influenced by supply or not. If you wanted to know whether demand is influencing by supply or not, then in this case, your study confined to only two variables called demand and supply. So in this case, your study is said to be simple correlation. But sometimes demand is not only influenced by supply. Demand may be influenced by supply, demand may be influenced by cost of the product, demand may be influenced by quality, maybe price, maybe availability, and so on. Now, if you wanted to know whether demand is influencing by either supply or quality or price or availability and so on. In this case, we are having more than two variables. So we call it as multiple correlation. That's it. And so all this is introduction to correlation analysis. All this introduction part is very, very important for short question. So many times it was given that it was given as
correlation.
So many times it was given as write a short note on correlation analysis. Write a short note on correlation analysis and it's an important for short question. Almost paka question. Then you need to write all this introduction. See, whatever I have explained till now, all this you need to write for short question. Multiple ante sir. Just listen. If your study confined to, for example, you are a marketing manager and you wanted to know whether sales is influencing by advertising expenditure or not. And every company is spending some money on ads, na? So see, spending money for ads is not enough. See, some companies, even though may spend lot of money, their sales may not be increased because of various reasons. So in that case, sales is not only influencing on advertising expenditure. Sales may be influenced by some other factors. So my point is, we should know whether sales is influenced by advertising expenditure or not. If sales is influenced by advertising expenditure, then we can continue our ads. If not influencing, then we can stop advertising expenditure. So as a marketing manager, if you want to know the relationship between sales and advertising expenditure, then you need to take some data of previous years. Based on the data, if you try to know whether sales and advertising expenditure are influencing each other or not. So in this example, we have only two variables, variable 1 and variable 2. Then your study is said to be simple correlation. Sometimes sales, you wanted to know whether sales is influencing by advertising expenditure or quality of the product or price and so on. In this example, our study confined to variable 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have more than two variables, so my analysis is called multiple correlation. We call it as multiple correlation. Is it clarified?
Yes, sir. Basically, it is two variables and multiple variables.
That's it. Only two variables to study just a simple correlation. More than two variables, if your study is the part of more than two variables, we call it as multiple correlation. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm moving to the models. See, to find out what kind of the relationship is existed between two or more variables, we have various methods. We have three methods to understand, or there are three methods to check the relationship between two or more variables. The first method is scatter diagram. Very important for short question. This is important for short question, 5 marks. And second method is Karl Pearson correlation coefficient. Karl Pearson correlation coefficient. This is the second model. Coming to third model, Spearman Spearman rank correlation coefficient. Rank correlation coefficient. So these are the three models we have to find out whether two variables are positively correlated or negatively correlated, or there existed absence of correlation. Got it? Shall I move for model 1?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm moving for model 1. Now I just explained for 5 to 10 minutes. You just listen carefully. You can write with your own words. No need to revise. You just listen to me. You can write easily in the examination. Now coming to the model 1. Model 1 is scatter diagram. Scatter diagram. So it is the simplest method. It is the simplest method out of these three models to know the relationship between two or more variables. Scatter diagram is also said to be a graphical method. This is also said to be a graphical method which is used. So scatter diagram is also said to be a graphical method which is used to know the relationship between two or more variables. See here what happens now. Here what we do is, when we have the data for two variables called x comma y, let's say I will give you a practical example. I will tell you a practical example. Let's say we want to know the relationship between the heights and weights. Heights and weights. So let's say whether heights are influencing with weights or not. మన క్లాస్ లో మనం ప్రాక్టికల్ కండక్ట్ చేయొచ్చు. Let's say our class having 100 students, 96 students in our class today. So now what we need to do is we have to take the practical data for all 99 people, and we need to collect the data of 96 students, which includes heights and weights. Let's say I start with myself. Let's say my height is 165 centimeters and my weight is 70 kgs. Let's say another one. Rajkumar height is 159 centimeters and his weight is 68 kgs. And another girl, her height is 155 centimeters and her weight is 60 kgs. And another girl height is 170 and her weight is 65 kgs, and so on. So like this, we need to take the data for all the sample. We call it a sample. Now, here if you observe, we have two variables called heights and weights. See, height we can take as one variable which is representing for horizontal axis, x-axis on the graphical sheet. And weights we can take as another variable called y. And we can show this on the vertical line, y-axis. Okay. Now what we need to do is, by taking x comma y, we can take coordinates like this. See, this is a coordinate where x is representing height and y is representing weight. Similarly, this is another coordinate. This is third coordinate, fourth coordinate, and so on. Now, after getting the coordinates for all the given data, we need to go for what we call a graphical sheet. I will take a graphical sheet. Just a minute. I will show you. So this is a graphical data. See, I think you can see a graphical sheet on my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now here we need to take x-axis and y-axis like this. X-axis and y-axis like this. Okay. So here x is representing for heights, and y is representing for weights. See, on heights, let's say this is an origin. Its heights might be we can start from 100. 100 is start from 100, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, and so on. Similarly, our weights might be, let's take 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80, and so on, and 80, 100, and so on. So, if you see the first one, let's plot all these coordinates on this graphical sheet. If you take the first coordinate 165, 70, this 165 we need to take on x-axis. That means roughly this is 160, na? So 165 means this one, this vertical line. Roughly this is vertical line. What is the weight, Amma? Weight is 70. 70 and roughly this is the 70. So for this and this we have a point here like this. Similarly, for the second coordinate 159, 60, 115, roughly this one. This one is the 159 roughly, and 68. 68 means roughly it is this one. This is the another coordinate. Similarly, for third coordinate might be like this, fourth is like this, fifth is like this, sixth is like this, seventh is like this, and so on. So all coordinates we need to show on the graphical sheet. After plotting all the coordinates on the graphical sheet, now if you see, after plotting all the coordinates on the graphical sheet, we need to draw a line along all these just with the upper boundary of all these coordinates, just draw a line with upper boundary. So you can see like this. If you draw a line along with all these dots, or what we call coordinates, you can find a linear line. This is what we call, and we're observing all these dots are falling on a line. Line will plot a student. Got it? So this is called formation of a linear line, and we call it as linear line, linearity. So if the data follows linearity, then we can say that there existed some correlation. I repeat, if the data follows, or the data forms a linear line, then we say that there existed correlation. So sometimes after drawing the graph, your data may not follows like this. At linear line kakunda, you can see the points at different places. Now if you draw a line, if you see some points may be coming onto the line, but remaining may be out of the line, then we cannot call it as linearity, we call it as non-linearity. So if the data follows non-linearity, we can say that there is no correlation. So my point is, whenever we have data for two variables called x, y, and after that we have to take a graphical sheet and we have to plot all these coordinates on the graphical sheet. Then through all the dots we have to draw a line, what we call a linear line. If the data follows linearity, then we say that there existed correlation. Now we come, now with this linear line, we can come to know there existed correlation between x and y. Now we need to decide whether there existed positive correlation or negative correlation or absence of correlation. I repeat, when the data follows linearity, then we can say that there existed correlation. But we need to decide whether there existed positive correlation or negative correlation or absence of correlation. So that can be conclude like this. If your linear line, now listen carefully. Now the conclusion, now to conclude whether a positive or negative or absence of correlation is existed between height and weight in this example, if your linear line, if your linear line starts from origin, and it flow towards, if your linear line starts from origin and go through straight away towards upper boundary, అంటే from origin దగ్గర start అయ్యి through upper boundary, grow అయితే we call it as positively correlated అంటారు. If the linear line starts from origin and travels towards infinitive, remember, it travels towards infinitive through linear line, then we can say that there existed positive correlation between height and weight. So in this example, this is called as this forms positive correlation. We call it as positive weight. Positive correlation. Okay. Let's say if your data follows, let's say for example, let's say for example, if your dots follows like this, if your data follows like this, if you see this, if you draw a line along all these dots, you can find a straight line, and the straight line is said to be linear line. But if you see, this straight line is just opposite to previous line. See, in this, the linear line started from origin and gone through up to infinity. But same linear line in the second graph is in reverse. So if the data follows like this, we call it as, this is also linearity, but this is in reverse, so we call it as negative correlation. So if the data follows like this, we call it as there existed negative correlation. Now coming to third one, we call it as absence of correlation. Okay, if this is x-axis and y-axis, and if your data do not forms a linear line, like see, we cannot draw a straight line, so we can draw a circle, or we can draw, sometimes our data may follows like this parabola, or sometimes our data may follows like this. So my point is, whatever it is other than this and other than this, remaining any type of graph is represented as absence of correlation. So this is the way of knowing the type of correlation existed between x and y. X and y are two variables through scatter diagram. We call it as scatter diagram because here we decide the correlation between the two variables through the scatteredness between the coordinates. That's it. This is about model 1. Any doubts in this model 1? If you have any doubts, can you write with your own words?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I'm moving for the second model, very, 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 very important for essay question. And most probably you will get a question from second model. Put the heading. Second model is Carl Pearson correlation coefficient. So the second model is Carl Pearson correlation coefficient.
So once, can you define negative correlation?
Explain, negative correlation explain,
Just define it, sir. Means.
You want me to explain this negative correlation?
Just definition, sir. Definition only.
Definition, okay. See, negative correlation means, see, if we have two variables called x comma y, if there is some increase in first variable, influences for some decrease in another variable. అంటే ఒక వేరియబుల్ ఇంక్రీజ్ మీరు చూస్తున్నారు అనుకోండి, ఆ ఇంక్రీజ్ అనేది సెకండ్ వేరియబుల్ లో డిక్రీజ్ కి ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ చేస్తే we call it as negatively correlated. దానికి ఆపోజిట్ కూడా, సపోజ్ x may be, if there is some decrease in the first variable, if this decrease influences for some increase in the second variable, then also we call it as negative correlation. Okay nandi?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Now I am moving for Karl-Pearson correlation coefficient. See, this is a statistical method which is used to know same purpose only. This method is also used to know the relationship between two or more variables. This was introduced by Karl-Pearson. And it is represented by a Greek letter gamma. Gamma to represent chestaru or capital R to represent chestaru. So we can represent this with either gamma or capital R. And it is also ranges from -1 to +1. I repeat, Karl-Pearson correlation coefficient is another method which is used to know the relationship between two or more variables. Got it? And it was introduced by Karl-Pearson, and it is represented by gamma or capital R. And it ranges from -1 to +1. Got it? What are the practical examples, sir? If you ask me some practical examples of Karl-Pearson correlation coefficient, I can give you. For example, if you take pharmacy industry, see, generally they used to manufacture the drugs. Do you know, while manufacturing the drugs, before manufacturing the drug, they will develop a formula. That the formula can be developed through the relationship between the disease and the dose of the drug. I mean the weight of the drug. And they used to see whether there existed any relationship between disease and the drug.
Thank you.
Got it? So my point is, pharmaceutical industry is an example where we can practically apply correlation coefficient, Karl-Pearson correlation coefficient. And you know, this Karl-Pearson correlation coefficient has given a procedure to calculate correlation coefficient, and this is calculated by gamma is equal to root of just a minute. Gamma is equal to summation of x into y divided by root of summation x square into summation y square. Let's note down this formula, very very important. You have to remember. పక్కగా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలండి, మీకు వేరే ఆప్షన్ లేదు. So it's a simple formula where we can where we need to remember. So correlation coefficient gamma is calculated by summation of x into y divided by root of summation x square into summation y square. Got it? Then here, what is x and y, sir? Remember, x and y are said to be two variables which are under study. అంటే మనం ఏ వేరియబుల్స్ అయితే స్టడీ చేస్తున్నామో వాటిని x, y తో రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తారు. But remember, this is called a deviation method. So we need to take here x, y, we cannot take directly from the data. X is represented by the deviation for x. That means x is calculated by x minus x bar. Similarly, y is calculated by y minus y bar. So remember, correlation coefficient gamma is calculated by summation of x into y by root of summation x square into summation y square, where x is calculated by x minus x bar and y is calculated by y minus y bar. అంటే given data లో x ని y ని మనం డైరెక్ట్ గా తీసుకోకూడదు. x అంటే deviations తీసుకోవాలి, x minus x bar. Y means y minus y bar. This I will explain with an example. Very, very important example. Compulsory question for exam. Now I will give you a break for 5 minutes. 5 minutes work ఉందండి, అది చూసుకొని వచ్చేస్తాను. Let's take a break for 5 minutes. Okay?
Okay, sir.
So don't leave the class. Very, very pakka question for exam. I will come back in 5 minutes.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
So I'm starting with an example. Just a minute. So now I'm taking an example. I will explain the example.
సార్ సారీ ఫర్ ద ఇంటరప్షన్ సార్ చిన్న రిక్వెస్ట్ ఇది యాక్చువల్ గా మాకు ఉన్న ఈ అసైన్మెంట్స్ లోను ఉన్న క్వశ్చన్స్ ప్రాబ్లమాటిక్ వి కొంచెం డౌట్స్ గా అలా ఉన్నాయి సార్ అవి సో అందుకని చెప్పి నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ లో మాకు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తే మా అసైన్మెంట్స్ కంప్లీట్ చేసేసి ముందు అసైన్మెంట్ సబ్మిట్ చేసేస్తాను సార్ అది నా పర్సనల్ రిక్వెస్ట్
చెప్తాను
సార్ ఎందుకంటే కొంచెం ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ డెరివేటివ్స్ అవన్నీ ఉన్నాయి సార్ ఆల్రెడీ టుడే ఇస్ 14th నెలాఖరు కల్లా అది సబ్మిట్ చేయాలి సార్ అది
చెప్తాను
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్ థ్యాంక్ యూ
concept. Now just write an example. Write the question. Calculate. I just write down. Calculate correlation coefficient. Calculate correlation coefficient between. Calculate correlation coefficient between x and y. X and y. Okay, x values are 48, 35.
Sir, Karl-Pearson method is that, sir?
అవునండి, Karl-Pearson correlation coefficient.
Okay, thanks, Andy.
I'm explaining with an example. So here data is given for two variables called x comma y. X values are 48, 35, 17, 23 and 47. Okay, and the y values are 45, 20, 40, 25, 45. Question will be given like this. Find out Karl-Pearson correlation coefficient for the following data x comma y. Got it? LS said. Now I'm moving for the solution. Here I'm writing solution. So solution for the question. So remember, always we need to write the formula. Write down. We know that correlation coefficient gamma is equal to summation of x into y divided by root of summation x square into summation y square. Okay, where x is equal to x minus x bar and y is equal to y minus y bar. And first we need to get deviations, and so to get deviations, if you observe carefully, we need x bar and y bar. First we need to get x bar. First we need to get for x bar and we need to get for y bar. Okay, as we know that x bar is nothing but summation of x values divided by n and number of observations. Now tell me, what are the all summation of x values? Somebody tell me what is summation of x? Summation of x and x values and add cheyalandi. 45 plus 35 plus 17 plus 23 plus 70 andi.
170, sir.
170. Okay, 170. Similarly, can you tell me for summation of y? And y values
175, sir.
175. Okay, now here x bar is nothing but summation of x by n. That means 170 divided by n means number of observations. That is 1, 2, 4, 5. So it's nothing but 5. So 170 by 5, that is equivalent to 34. Similarly, y bar is equal to summation of y divided by n and that implies summation of y means 175. 175 by 5 అండి. That implies
35.
that is 35. Okay. I hope you understand till this.
Yes, sir.
I'm moving further. ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఏం కావాలమ్మా? If you observe the formula, we want summation of x into y, we want summation x square, summation y square. అంటే first xy కావాలంటే first we need to go for x అంటే we need to take deviations. X is equal to x minus x bar. Similarly, y is equal to y minus y bar. Okay. Okay, now x is equal to x minus x bar ante we need to get ante from all x values we need to subtract x bar. What is x bar ante? X bar is 34. So 34. 34. And this means we need to subtract 34 from every x value, and that means first one is 48 minus 34. What is 48 minus 34?
12.
14. 14 అండి. Correct. 14. Similarly, 35 minus 34, 1 అండి. 17 minus 34,
minus 17.
minus 17. 23 minus 34, minus 11.
Next one is 13.
13. So all these are x bar. I mean deviations for x. Now let's come for deviations for y. Now y bar is nothing but 35 kadandi. Ante then we need to subtract every value of y. I mean from every value of y we need to subtract 35. That means 45 minus 35 we get 10. 20 minus 35 we get minus 15. 40 minus 45 we get minus 5.
15.
45 kada? Oh, sorry. 35 kada? I'm sorry.
5 sir.
Correct. This is nothing but 5. Next is 25 minus 35 minus 10. 45 minus 35 we get plus 10. 35 plus 10. సరిపోయిందండి చూడండి.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now according to the formula we want x into y. According to the formula we want x into y. After that we want నాకు అక్కడ అవ్వట్లేదండి. Shall I mean will you do it for x square and y square? I'm doing x into y square. So here you need to get x square values. In the next line you need to do it for y square values. Can you calculate for x square and y square?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm trying for x into y. X into y is nothing but now we need to multiply these x values with the y values. That means 14 into 10, 140. 1 into minus 15, minus 15. Minus 17 5s is nothing but 85.
Minus 85.
Minus into minus plus 11 tens, 110. And 13 tens, 130. So 130 is x into y. Therefore, summation of xy is equal to, tell me, x into y and change. Just add all the x into y values. Take the calculator.
280.
280 and 280. Okay. Now I'm x into 280 kadante. Okay, 280. Now I'm moving for x square. Remember, now while getting x square, we need to take the squares of these deviations of x. Ante we need to take for 14 square ante 196. So 196.
Next one.
1 square means 1. 17. 289. 289.
121.
11 square 121.
169.
13 square 169. అంటే can I say that ఇక్కడ చేస్తున్నానండి summation x square అంటే 196 plus 1 plus 218 289 plus 121 plus 160. My
776.
770 na?
776.
776.
776. Okay, this is over. Now we're moving for summation of y square. Ante we need to square this deviations of y. Mean square cheyali. That means 10 square means 100 plus 15 square 225
Next
plus
is 25.
25
Next
plus 10
100.
square plus 10 square another 100.
550.
Total
Sigma
550.
550.
50.
We 550 na?
550, sir.
550. 550.
Is it clear?
Yes,
Is
sir.
it clear? Now if you observe, now we have everything na? Now we have summation of xy, we have summation x square, summation y square. So we have everything what we require for the formula. Now let's substitute all these values in the formula. Therefore, correlation coefficient gamma is equal to summation of x into y divided by root of summation x square into summation y square. That implies, now tell me, what is summation xy? Summation xy is 280.
280.
It's 280 divided by
Root over
Root of
776.
summation x square and
776
27. 27.85.
550.
into 550. That implies 280 divided by 280 divided by multiple చేసి square root పెట్టేదా?
653.
653.29.
653.29.
653.29.
653.29.
Okay, very good. After square root,
After square root, sir.
okay, this implies, tell me, 280 by 653.29.
0.4285.
0.4285.
0.4285.
So this is our correlation coefficient. Remember, always our coefficient should be from -1 to +1. పక్కగా మీకు -1 to +1 మధ్యలోనే రావాలి, because that is the range of correlation. Now tell me, is this value positive or negative?
Positive, sir.
Positive.
What this means? Can I say that there is a positive correlation between this one?
Yes, positive correlation.
Okay. Now the conclusion is therefore there existed positive correlation between x and y. Tell me, any doubt in this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
A simple question and very very simple but very important for exam. Exam ki chala important. So this is about second model. So scatter diagram is over. This is over, and this is over, and this is over.
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
Sir, every time this takes a positive value, so it always goes for a positive correlation, sir.
No, not like that. Sometimes we may have negative correlation.
It depends on sigma xy.
That's based on sigma xy. Correct. See, for example,
Now it is good, sir, your voice.
if your x into y is a negative value, obviously you will get negative correlation.
Okay, sir.
Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I will give you a question for HW. ఒక question group లో share చేస్తానండి. This you can do it for practice. So I'm sharing it. Wait a minute. So I'm sharing a question in our WhatsApp group. Just do it.
Sir, this method applicable only for linear variables? linear relationship.
Wait, I will tell you. Just a minute, and I will tell you. ఒక క్వశ్చన్ షేర్ చేశానండి. దిస్ యూ కెన్ యూజ్ ఫర్ హెచ్డబ్ల్యూ, అంటే యూ కెన్ డూ ఫర్ ప్రాక్టీస్. Now you are asking that is it always for linearity? Remember, correlation coefficient is not always for linearity. Correlation coefficient is used to check whether there existed linearity or not.
Okay.
Linearity check చేస్తామండి.
Okay,
then, then how can we, you may have a doubt, sir, how can we check whether there existed linearity or not? Simple. See, if you get
we compare the values of x and y.
If your correlation coefficient is if your correlation coefficient is some value from -1 to +1 except 0.
Okay, sir.
0. If you have some value except 0, surely we can say that there existed linearity. See, sometimes your correlation coefficient is 0. Then we can say that there existed non-linearity.
Okay.
Have I cleared your doubt?
No, sir.
Shall I move further?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm moving for the third model. This is also important for exam. Just a minute. So I'm taking another file. Just a minute, and I'm taking. Just a minute, and I'm just adjusting my screen. Okay. Now I'm moving for model 3, and model 3, that is Spearman rank correlation. Spearman rank correlation. Remember, generally, when we are doing some research, we used to collect the data to study some variables, and we may have data which is coming under two types, that is either nominal data or ordinal data. Nominal data, or second is ordinal data. Ordinal data. See, you just listen carefully. I will explain the meaning of nominal data and ordinal data. Based on the type of data, we will apply either Karl Pearson correlation coefficient or Spearman rank correlation coefficient. See, if any data which is in the form of ranks, and if any data which is in the form of ranks, then we call it as ordinal data. Other than ranks, any data which is in the form of normal numericals or normal alphabets or alphanumeric is said to be nominal data. I repeat, remember, listen carefully. If the data is in the form of ranks, if the data is in the form of ranks, then the data is said to be ordinal data. Other than ranks, any data is said to be nominal data. For example, I will give you an example where we can understand the meaning of nominal as well as ordinal. Suppose if you take the marks and ranks of MSET students, let's say you wanted to study the ranks. If you wanted to study the relationship between the marks and IQ of the students, and you wanted to know whether marks or ranks are having relation with the IQ or not. Now, to explain the situation, or to identify the relationship between ranks and IQ, we used to take the data from the MSET students. Now we can take the data of the students by two ways. First is we can take the marks of the marks in MSET of the entire students, or we can take the ranks of the students which are obtained by the students. Suppose if you take the marks of the students, like the marks of the students in the MSET, like 150, 120, 100, 80, 90, and so on. And if you calculate the correlation coefficient by taking marks, then you need to use, and to know the relationship between marks and IQ, if you consider the marks of the students, then you need to use Karl-Pearson correlation coefficient. Now, we can also calculate the association or relationship between IQ and their marks. We can take the data of their ranks also. అంటే మనం correlation coefficient వాళ్ళ ranks తీసుకొని కూడా calculate చేయొచ్చు.
Sir, your voice is not audible, sir. Not clearly it is there.
Just a minute. అందరికీ ఎలా ఉందమ్మా? అందరికీ వినిపించలేదా?
Yes, sir, it's not clear.
Slow again, sir.
Okay.
And it is getting some resound like that.
Resound. Just a minute. Okay. Now is it okay?
No, sir.
Resound.
అవును సార్ resound.
ఇప్పుడు కనిపిస్తుందా? ఇప్పుడు వినిపిస్తుందా చూడండి.
వినిపిస్తుంది కానీ మైక్ మీకు దూరంగా ఉన్నట్టు కానీ
మీ వెనక ఏదో డిస్టర్బెన్స్ ఉంది సార్. ఎవరు మాట్లాడుతున్నట్టు ఏదో డిస్టర్బెన్సెస్ ఉన్నాయి.
ఇప్పుడు ఓకేనండి. హలో, ఇప్పుడు ఓకేనండి.
సార్ వాయిస్ అసలు క్లియర్ గా లేదు సార్.
సార్ ఒక
ఇంకా ఇంకా రీసౌండ్ వస్తుంది సార్.
అవుట్ అవుతుంది.
ఒకసారి మీ ఇయర్ ఫోన్స్ ఏమైనా సెట్టింగ్ ప్రాబ్లం ఉందేమో చూడండి సార్. ఒకసారి రిమూవ్ చేసి ఒకసారి ఎంత చేయండి సార్ మళ్ళీ.
హలో, ఇప్పుడు వినిపిస్తుందండి?
వినిపిస్తుందండి.
Yes, sir.
వినిపిస్తుంది సార్.
Okay. Now, when we have ordinal data in the sense ranked data, then to know the relationship between two or more variables, we have to use Spearman rank correlation. Okay. Now, I will explain how to calculate Spearman rank correlation and how to conclude the given problem. So here also in the Spearman rank correlation coefficient, Spearman, S-P-A-R-M-N, Spearman rank correlation. So Spearman rank correlation is also a statistical tool which is used to know the relationship or association between two or more variables through ranked data. And here it is represented by rho like this. This is called rho, and it is calculated by 1 minus 6 sigma d square by n into n square minus 1. So it is calculated by rho is equal to 1 minus 6 sigma d square by n into n square minus 1. Clear? Here n is represented by number of pairs. Okay, where d are nothing but deviations. Deviations are calculated by the difference between r1 minus r2 or r2 minus 1, vice versa. So this is a model. We have simple calculations, but very much useful for ordinal data. And the beauty of this method is applicable for both nominal as well as ordinal data. If you see the previous model, if you see the Karl Pearson correlation coefficient, that is used for only nominal data, only nominal, and just normal numericals untene adi work out avutadi.
Sir, R1 R2 ranks, sir?
I will tell you. R1 R2 are nothing but ranks of first variable. R2 means ranks of second variable. Okay. Now the beauty of this model is this is applicable when we have both nominal as well as ordinal data. Now I will explain this with an example. Just a minute. So I'm taking an example. Question, and just note down. The question is find out rank correlation. Between x and y. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, వాడు ర్యాంక్ కొరిలేషన్ అంటేనే ఈ మోడల్ అప్లై చేయాలి. If he just say that find out correlation coefficient ante, you can apply Karl Pearson correlation coefficient also. If he mentions about rank correlation, then you need to apply this. Now I'm writing the data. The data is given for two variables called x and y. The values for X are 75, 88, 95, 70, 60, 80, 81, and 50. So these are the values for X. Values for Y: 120, 134, 150, 115, 110, 140, 142, and 100. So this is about the given data. Ela istarandi. So find out rank correlation coefficient between X and Y and cheppi. He will give you two variables X and Y. Now the solution will be like this. Solution. Remember, always we need to write.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So once we have the data like this, always first we need to write the formula. As we know that rank correlation gamma is, rank correlation rho is equal to 1 minus 6 sigma d square by n into n square minus 1. Okay, where n means number of pairs. మీరు observe చేయండి, how many number of pairs are given? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means n is equal to 8. Okay, now what we require? Now we require for d values. So as we know that d is calculated by the difference between rank 1 and rank 2. See, we can take either R1 or R1 minus R2 or R2 minus R1, no problem. Now let's apply to find out deviations we have ranks kabatti. Now first I will go for ranks for variable X. That means ranks for variable X. After this I will go for ranks for variable Y. Okay, then the difference between R1 minus R2, is represented by D and D. Then d square is nothing but squares and here it is d square. Now listen carefully. As we know that ranks will be given according to a procedure called highest will be given first rank, next highest will be given second rank, and so on. Now if you see variable X, what is the highest value? Highest value is 95. So 95 will be given first rank. What is the next highest?
Sir, rank will be
88.
the least, right, sir?
88.
Sir?
Normally, the first rank should be the least, right?
No. First rank will be given for the highest one. Na? Suppose my class lo meeku highest marks vaste first rank istara, last rank istara.
But here we are taking ranks, sir, not the marks, right?
Yeah, that's why here X and Y are not ranks.
Oh, okay.
X and Y are normal variables. Very good. Good doubt andi. Actually, remember, what question lo in the question he will mention that whether the given data is ranks or normal numerical data. Suppose in this question he is just saying that find out rank correlation between X and Y. He is not mentioned about X and Y. That means the given X comma Y values are nominal data. So what we need to do is, for the nominal data we need to find out ranks. Later we go for deviations. Sometimes in the given question will mention like this: the following data consisting the ranks of 10 students in 2 different exams and mention chesarandi. Ala ranks and mention cheste, then those two variables are considered as ordinal data. Okay, Nandi?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So here X comma Y are nominal data. Nominal data kabatti here highest score will be given first rank. So 95 will be given first rank. What is the next one? 88. 88 will be given second rank. 81 will be given third rank. 80 will be given fourth rank.
75 fifth rank.
5 will be given fifth rank.
76th rank.
Okay.
67th rank.
Okay.
58th rank.
8th rank. Okay. Now all the values are done. All the values got ranks which are mentioned in RX. Now by moving for ranks for variable y. Now variable y, student, what is the highest one? 150, na? 150 given
Yes, sir.
first rank.
150.
Yes, sir.
Next 142 given second rank. 40 given third
140
rank.
given third rank. 134 fourth.
And
130
given fourth rank. 120 given
120 fifth rank.
fifth rank.
115.
115 given sixth rank. 110 given
110
seventh rank.
seventh rank.
100 given
180.
Okay. Now deviations. Deviations are nothing but Rx minus Ry. See, you can do either Rx minus Ry or R minus Rx. So 5 minus 5, 0. 2 minus 4, minus 2. 1 minus 1, 0. 6 minus 0. 7 minus 7, 0. 4 minus 3, 1. 3 minus 2, 1. 8 minus 8, 0. But we, according to the formula, we want d square. And the deviation square. This means 0. Minus 2 square, 4. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. According to the formula, we want summation of d square. Now tell me, what is the summation of d square? And any add chelamma? 6 of 7. So summation of d square is nothing but 6. So do you understand the calculations?
Yes, sir.
Shall I move
Yes,
further?
sir.
Shall I move further?
Yes, sir.
Sir, just explain Rx and Ry, please, sir.
Rx is
Sir,
nothing
can you
but.
define the rank, sir? Can you define the rank once? Rank.
I'm saying, okay, no problem. So here, just a minute. Simple and Rx is nothing but ranks for variable x and so variable x means the first one. Na? So these are the values for variable x. Now for the variable x, you need to give ranks. As we know that the highest score will be given first rank. After Excel student, Excel, what is the highest score? 95. So for 95, corresponding value will be given first rank. After 95, the next highest, that is 88. 88 will be given second rank. After 88, the next highest will be next highest is 81. So 81 will be given third rank. After 81, next highest is 80. So 80 is given fourth rank. I hope you understand.
Sir, one small doubt, sir.
Chap.
See, R1 is taken in reference of X. See, Y1, sorry, X1 is taken the reference of X. The correspondence value will be automatically become Y1, sir.
అర్థం అవ్వలేదండి మీ క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటి ఒకసారి చెప్పండి. RX అంటే RX is nothing but ranks for variable X అండి. అంటే X వేరియబుల్ లో వాల్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి కదండి.
నా డౌట్ ఏంటంటే సార్ ఇప్పుడు 95 ఉంది, 95 ని 1 గా తీసుకున్నారు. 95
ఫస్ట్ ర్యాంక్.
ఫస్ట్ ర్యాంక్ దానికి కరెస్పాండెంట్ గా 150 ఉంది. ఆటోమేటిక్లీ
150 కి
ఫస్ట్ పాయింట్. ఇన్ఫాక్ట్ ఆ 150 అనేది పై అక్కడ కాకుండా కింద ఎక్కడన్నా ఉంటే దట్ విల్ బి టేకెన్ యాజ్ y1 సార్.
ఒక్క నిమిషం. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ 95 కి ఇక్కడ 1 రాసాం కాబట్టి దాని పక్కన 150 ఉందని చెప్పి ఇక్కడ మనం ఇక్కడ 1 రాసామని ఇక్కడ 1 రాయలేదు.
ఓకే సార్.
The reason is, see, while getting ranks for y స్కోర్లు చూడండి. y స్కోర్లు చూసేటప్పుడు y లో హైయెస్ట్ ఎంత ఉందండి?
ఇప్పుడు x y అనేది మార్క్స్ అనుకుంటూ హైయెస్ట్ మార్క్స్ వాళ్ళకి తక్కువ ర్యాంక్ ఇస్తాం కదా, అలా
y లో హైయెస్ట్ 150 కాబట్టి 150 ఎదరంగా y కి అండర్ లో మళ్ళీ 1 రాశాను. అంతేగాని ఇక్కడ 1 రాశాను, ఇక్కడ 1 రాయలేదు. అర్థమైందండి?
y లో హైయెస్ట్ మార్క్స్ 150 కాబట్టి దట్ ఇస్ ద ఫస్ట్ ర్యాంక్.
కరెక్ట్, అంతే. ఆఫ్టర్ 150 నెక్స్ట్ హైయెస్ట్ ఇస్ 142 కాబట్టి ఐ హావ్ గివెన్ సెకండ్ ర్యాంక్.
Simply consider x and y as two subjects.
అంతే, దట్స్ ఇట్. x and y are two sets of data. Is it clear? Shall I move further?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Now once we get summation of d square, we can move for the formula. Therefore rho is equal to 1 minus 6 into, now tell me what is the summation of d square value we got? That is 6 kada. That means 6 into 6 divided by n into n square minus 1. n అంటే number of pairs 8 and 8 into 8 square minus 1. That implies 1 minus 6 36 and divided by 2 18 64 minus 1 63. That is 1 minus 36 by 8 into 63. ఎంతమ్మా?
504.
504. That is 1 minus 36 by 504 చెప్పు.
That is totally
0.0714.
0.0714, sir.
0.0714.
0.0714. 071.
Yeah, yes, sir.
That implies 1 minus 1 minus 0.07.
0.928. 928.
Correct. 0.928 is nothing but our final correlation coefficient.
The calculator, sir.
0.92 is positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive, sir. Positive.
Positive linear.
This means there existed a positive correlation between the two variables called x and y. Okay, na?
Sir, scientific calculators allowed, sir. Example.
Calculators
are allowed, sir.
Calculators are allowed. మీకు ఆల్రెడీ చెప్పాను. Calculators are allowed, but don't use calculators from mobile phone is not allowed.
Normal scientific calculators are allowed.
Any calculator, no problem. అయితే, if you observe this example, after observing this example, you may have a doubt, na? ఏంటి డౌట్ చెప్పండి. ఈ క్వశ్చన్ అంతా ఈ ఆన్సర్ అంతా విన్నారు, మీకు డౌట్ రావాలి.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు x లో రిపిటేషన్ ఏమైనా
rank which rank is required.
Correct అండి.
Which variable getting rank.
Sometimes the data might be having repetitions. So when we have repetitions in the data, obviously ranking procedure will be different, na?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ranking procedure will be different. So now I will take another example with repetitions of the data. Data lo repetitions ఉన్నప్పుడు ranks ఎలా చేయాలని ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్పేస్తానండి. Their ends correlation. I'm taking one more example. So write the question. Calculate rank correlation from the following data. Question number 2 only, example number 2. So calculate rank correlation from the following data. And the data is values for x and values for y. Values for x and values for y. Okay. Now the x values are 165, 166, 167, 167, 168, 169, 170, 172. Coming to y values, 167, 168, 165, only 168, 172, 172, 169, 171 అండి. ఇలా ఇచ్చారండి. So this is the data given in the question. Okay. Now note చేసుకున్నారండి?
Yes, sir.
Now remember, always before solving the question, you just write the formula. The formula is rank correlation rho is equal to 1 minus 6 sigma d square by n into n square minus 1. Now tell me what is n here? N means number of pairs. Antandi 3, 6, 8 kadandi.
8.
8 is equal to n. Now before going to the deviations, now we need to get for ranks only. Now I'm moving for ranks of x. Rank of x తీసుకుంటే x values చూడండి. X values లో what is the highest value? X values what is the highest value? 172. So 172. ఒక్క నిమిషం. So 172 will be given first rank. The next 170. 170 will be given second rank. 169 will be given third rank. 168 will be given fourth rank. Okay. But next మీరు observe చేస్తే 167 is the next highest, but repeated for 2 times. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Repeated for 2 times. Now what to do? Remember, when we have repetitions in the data, then see till now how many ranks we have completed?
4 ranks.
Four ranks. We have completed 4 ranks till now, and next two observations are equal. That means we need to take next 2 ranks. What are the next 2 ranks after 4? That is 5,
5 and
6. Now what to do is we have to take the average for 5, 6. Yeah, 5, 6 average is called. Average is nothing but 5 plus 6 by 2. Means 11 by 2. 11 by 2 means 5.5.
5.5.
That means for this 67 we need to give 5.5. For another 167 we need to give 5.5. But most importantly, now 5, 6 ranks are over. That means the next highest will be given what rank?
7th rank.
7th rank.
That means next highest is 166 will be given 7th rank. Next highest 165. 165 will be given 8th rank.
8th rank.
Here important point is you cannot see 5th rank and 6th rank because we have repetitions in the data. Did you understand, Anil? Did you understand?
Yes,
sir.
Sir,
Now I'm moving.
పైన సార్ ఇక్కడ 168 దగ్గర 5.5 వచ్చింది కదా సార్, మళ్ళీ 168 దగ్గర కదా సార్ 5.5 రావాలి, 165 దగ్గర 5.5 వచ్చింది
కాదండి, 168 దగ్గర 4th ర్యాంక్ ఇచ్చాను కదా.
ఓకే సార్, ఫస్ట్ నుంచి ఇక్కడ వరకు ఓకే.
168 4th ర్యాంక్ ఇచ్చాను కదండి.
It is for X variables.
I'm talking about X అండి. I'm writing ranks for X అండి.
Yes, I got it, sir. I got it now.
I'm moving for ranks for Y అండి. Ranks for Y.
167 5 6th rank.
What sir? Repeat again.
Can't we give 167 5th rank both the previous and then proceed to 6th and 7th rank?
No, we should not. See, when both have same marks, we cannot give different ranks, no? See, when two fellows got same marks, that is 167, 167, then we should not give 5 and 6. So what we do is we take average. Now we're moving for Y.
I mean to say we can give 167 both the positions and 5th rank. Like we give 5.5 then
So మీ వాయిస్ నాకు అర్థం అవట్లేదు. Your voice, మీ వాయిస్ బ్రేక్ అవుతుంది.
సార్ తను చెప్తున్నారు 167 167 2 times వచ్చింది కదా, ఇద్దరికి 5th rank ఇచ్చుకోవచ్చు కదా అని అడుగుతున్నారు. అలా ఇవ్వకూడదు.
Because we have 2 observations now. We have 2 observations, so we need to take the next 2 ranks. Now coming to Y.
3 observations ఉంటే యావరేజ్ ఆఫ్ 3 తీసుకుంటాను.
అప్పుడు 3 తీసుకోండి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఈ 167 ప్లేస్ లో 166 ప్లస్ ఇంకో 167 ఉంది అనుకోండి. దెన్ యూ నీడ్ టు టేక్ 5 6 7 అమ్మా. ఈ మూడింటికి యావరేజ్ తీసుకోవాలి. అంటే 5 plus 6 plus 7 by 3 తీసుకోవాలి. అంటే 18 by 3. అంటే అప్పుడు 6th ర్యాంక్ కామన్ గా వస్తుంది.
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే.
మూవింగ్ ఫర్ ర్యాంక్స్ ఫర్ Y అండి. సో నౌ చూడండి, అండర్ Y what highest one? 172 na?
172.
Yes sir. So 1 plus 2 by 2.
Sorry.
So 2 times.
It was repeated for 2 times. So we have 172 is repeated for 2 times. So we have to take average of first 2 ranks. That means 1.5. So this is 1.5 and this is 1.5. But remember, up to 2nd rank it's over. Now the next highest will be given. Next highest will be given which rank?
171.
Third rank. 3rd rank. 169 will be given 4th rank. Next is 168. But 168 repeats for how many times?
2 times.
2 times.
That means
5 plus 6 by 2.
5 plus 6 by 2. That means 5.5. 5.5 here, 5.5 here. Up to 6th rank are over. Now 167 will be given 7th rank. 165 will be given 8th rank.
Okay.
Did you understand the procedure?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes sir.
Now we are moving for D, and D means deviations between Rx minus Ry. 8 minus 7 1 అండి. 7 minus 0.5.5 sorry 1.5.
1.5 sir.
1.5. This is also 2.5.
Minus 2 point.
No problem. Minus 2.5. Okay. This is 0 only. This is 0. 2.5. 2.5 only. This is 1.5. This is minus 2. This is
Minus 2 and minus 2.
Now let's come for d square. Square chest only. That means
first one 1.
So this is about 1. This is 1.5.
Next is
square
2.25.
2.25.
2.25.
This is 6.25. 2.5
0.
6.25. This is 0. This is also 6.25. This is 2.25.
4.
This is 4. This is 4. But we want summation of d square. So summation of d square is nothing but add cheyalandi entandi
30 sir. 30.
30 ma. So 30. The 30 is the summation of d square. Do you understand till now?
Yes, sir.
Now we have everything, children. Now we have everything which are required for the formula. Therefore, rank correlation rho is equal to 1 minus 6 sigma d square by n tan square minus 1. That means rho is equal to 1 minus 6 into sigma d square entandi. That is 30. That is into 30 divided by n means 8 into 8 square minus
63.
That implies 1 minus 180 divided by 8 into 8 square minus 1 antra
1504.
Sigma d square 26 వస్తుంది.
Sir, sigma d square is 26 sir.
26 sir. చూడండి ఎంతమ్మా
26 sir.
26 sir.
Okay. So if this is 26, then this will be changed. This is 26. So 6 into 26 and this is wrong then. 6 into 26.
156.
156 divided by
504.
63 into 8 and then 500 and
504.
504.
Okay, that implies 1 minus 156 by 504 is
0.309.
0.309. This implies 0.7
6904.
6904. So this is your answer. There existed a positive correlation between x and y. Is it clear, Andy?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So there ends the concept of correlation coefficient. Now overall, if you have any doubts, you just tell me, I will explain. Overall, so do you understand, at least do you understand the concept of correlation coefficient?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now we are moving for another important concept called regression analysis. Just put the heading, very, very important for exam as well as in practice. If anybody is interested in data analytics, this concept is very much useful. Now I will explain. I will give you some introduction to regression analysis. Once introduction is over, I will go for the examples. See, regression is widely used for forecasting. Can somebody tell me what is meant by forecasting?
Assuming the future.
Predicting the future.
Determining for future trend.
Prediction of
correct. Prediction of
Future trend.
of what?
Future possibilities.
అవునండి. Prediction of future
Prediction of future needs,
possibilities
sir.
of what? Huh?
Prospectus, future prospectus.
Increasing and decreasing trend.
Correct అండి. అంటే you just tell me forecasting is nothing but estimation or what we call prediction. So here
Prediction.
estimation of what?
what is going to happen, sir?
What is going to happen for what kind of variable?
Estimation of future values which are going to come.
Correct. And whatever you said, whatever all of you, whatever
Maybe
you
for
said
the
is
rank,
correct.
maybe for the trend, maybe for the demand.
Correct. See,
Profits and all.
okay. Just listen. Regression analysis is a statistical tool which is used to estimate or which is used to forecast the value of a dependent variable and chapel. Is to estimate the value of a dependent variable based on one or more independent variables. Here you have seen two variables called occupying.
Sir, could you please repeat the definition one more time, sir?
I will repeat. Occupying. Here, regression analysis is a statistical tool which is used to estimate the value of a dependent variable based on one or more independent variables. Okay. I'm just writing here. You just note down.
Sir, which is used to estimate?
Just process just choose. Regression analysis is a statistical tool which is used to estimate the value of a dependent variable based on one or more independent variables. Now I will ask you a question. Anybody can answer to my question. See, to apply regression, we require dependent and independent variables. We apply regression analysis for dependent and independent variables. Can somebody tell me how can I know a data consisting dependent and independent variables? It's a good question. If you answer this, very good. See, in a particular data, how can I find out the data having dependent and independent variables?
Independent variable will be predicted, sir.
See, for example,
Supposing x is equal to a plus b, x is a dependent variable, a and b are independent variables.
See, if I give you y is equal to a plus bx, then you can say y is a dependent variable, x is an independent variable. But if I give you some values for x and some values for y, now you tell me how can I know whether x and y are depending on each other?
Relation between
correct. Relationship between those two variables. How can I calculate the relationship between x and y? That is through correlation. And my point is what I mean to say is regression analysis is further advanced to correlation.
We assume that they are correlated.
See, we should not assume. While analyzing the data, we should not assume. What we need to do is, when we have data for x and y, first we need to calculate correlation coefficient. If your correlation coefficient value gamma is equal to some value, let's say your gamma is equal to 0.8, then the 0.8 is representing that there is some relationship between x and y. So when there is a relationship between x and y, obviously there should be a dependent variable and there should be an independent variable. Let's say, for example, after applying our correlation coefficient, if we have 0, suppose make 0 correlation coefficient, that means x and y are not at all correlated. And that means further regression is not possible. I hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please repeat once again.
See, always regression is useful to estimate the value of dependent variable based on some independent variable. But remember, to apply regression analysis, we should know whether there is some relationship between x and y is existed or not. that relationship exist అయి ఉందా లేదా ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయడానికి జనరల్లీ we apply correlation. If your correlation give you some value, it might be 0.6 or 0.7 or 0.8 something. If the data gives you some correlation coefficient, then regression is possible. If your correlation is 0, let's say your correlation is 0, that means there is no relationship between x and y. Then regression is not possible. If correlation is 0, then regression is not possible. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Sir, if it is in negative value, then
no problem. Negative correlation is also a type of relationship only, na?
yes.
Remember, whether it is negatively correlated or positively correlated, no need to bother. We need to see whether there is a relationship between x and y or not.
Okay.
So, once the relation is existed, then we can able to estimate the value of dependent variable y in terms of the value of independent variable x, and that relationship can be formed in the form of a linear equation, what we call y is equal to a plus bx. Let's say there are two variables called x comma y. If x is a dependent variable and y is an independent variable, then x is estimated as a plus by. Similarly, if y is a dependent variable and x is an independent variable, then y can be estimated as y is equal to a plus bx. So my point is, regression analysis is a statistical tool which is used to estimate the value of a dependent variable in terms of, with respect to one or more independent variables in terms of a linear equation. So further concepts of regression I will explain in the next class. So don't absent for the next class, that is an important one. So that's it for today. I will continue this in the next week. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.